Hey, g'day my friends, how are you? So I got one of these 234s by Miniart, but I've got the one with the drilling one, and that's a sort of a fantasy kit or whatever, a what if kit, and they come in the yellow box by Miniart, so that'll be something a little bit different. I've got this one here that was by Ryfield, and you can see some differences here. So this has got some storage stuff in the side there. This has only got that one and that one. It doesn't seem to have any stowage there, where this one does. But by the looks of it, you know, having a quick look inside, you've got so many more options. The Ryfield one's really sort of simple to build, but it doesn't give you as many options as the Miniart one does, and this is not a full interior one, so it doesn't get all the engine and all that kind of stuff, but I could imagine the full interior ones are really, really detailed. So it's going to come up pretty cool. It'd be good to see the differences in how they approach it, but the Ryfield one is really nice. So let's have a look inside this one here and see what the moulding's like. The box is pretty full. It's got its instruction manual, and it's got a whole heap of stuff in there. And on the box you get the different versions that they've given you. So these are all sort of fantasy versions, like, you know, in June 1945, but there also is a US captured one. Should be interesting, but I reckon this one here would be really cool to do. That one would be cool as well. They look really interesting. But let's have a look and see what's inside. So in the first part of the instructions, it shows you some of these fantasy ones you can build. So you've got Camp Group Wesp in Prague, 1945, and it's got a really cool paint thing going on there. That's the one on the box, but there's so many variations on it and stuff, and it'd be a really difficult one to paint, but it would look really cool. Another one I thought would be really cool is this one. The 1st Marine Infantry Division 46 Corps of the 3rd Panzer Army, Hearst Group, Wischel in Stettin, June 1945. It's got some really cool decals. That paint pattern's nice, but also I like how they do that white bit on the tyres. And you can see with this kit here, the Miniart kit, they've got 2 different type of tyres you can put on. You don't just have the Continental ones, you've got these Decals ones as well. And it just goes through the stuff that you can use. You get, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. And then the instructions, but it is slightly different. You know, this is, in the Ryfield version, this is all one piece. You know, that's all one piece. But you can see these are open, they're not, you know, and the Ryfield one has that moulded on the door. So it's typical Miniart sort of complexity, but also you know, you get really good detail with it. So we can go to the back here. Oh, they started putting all this advertising in their thing, advertising their latest kits. These would be cool to get. And that's the drilling. You can get just a kit of that. But here's some of the other ones that they've got. So the Panzer Corps in Hungary, which is a cool one as well. That doesn't have the guard on the gun. This one does look cool as well with that, you know, decal there. What is it called? The Reichsluftschutz or something. Reich Air Protection League in the Second Battle of Berlin. So they're imagining there's a second battle. Maybe the Germans pushed the Soviets back and they were able to keep fighting. It's got a cool little skull and crossbones on it. And then you've got the final one here, which is the captured US one. That does look pretty cool too, with the crude sort of USA decals. Alright, let's check this thing out. So we get some decals and some photo etch and some clear parts in this bag. So they're the clear parts, not a whole heap of them. But just enough to get by. And then you've got the photo etch there. They've got heaps of straps here for the fuel drums, these things, jerry cans, I'm sorry. And then you've got this cool little decal sheet here with heaps of nice decals. And Miniart do good decals. They're nice and thin and sit really well generally. So now we can have a look at the actual main body moulding here. So this is the actual exterior, the front face of the mould. And you've got your separate parts here, and you've got all this open. And then you've got the bottom part that you can build up where a lot of the suspension goes. Then we've got rear parts. This is the actual bottom of it, where they fight and all that kind of stuff, and that'd be like a part of the transmission. Got some more parts there. We've got the rear plate here. That does look really nice. And then we've got the actual top body part here, which is one entire mould, and that looks really nice. It looks really in scale as well with the armour thickness. A few extra parts there. And then we've got those side parts there where the stowage goes, and you've got the two there that were on the other one that are not on this one. And then this one, no, you can have these open, where in the right field one, these are moulded on, the doors are moulded on. Doesn't matter too much about the interior here, so those ejection pin marks don't matter too much, but they do on the doors, and they're not existing there, so that's good. There's a few ejection pin marks here that need to be cleaned up. But generally pretty good. They are generally, I found, to be a bit better than right field with their ejection pin marks. We'll have a look at the rear here. Yeah, there's a few on the side that will need to be cleared up, but maybe they'll be covered with something. But the moulding in the interior is really good too. That doesn't matter, that won't be seen. Yeah, really cool. Good work, Miniart. You get 4 of this sprue here, which has got a lot of the, wheel compartments and suspension and all that kind of stuff. Once again, moulded very well. Really nice components, and your wheels will be going on here, and they look really good. You got your leaf suspension, leaf springs, and you get 4 of those because you've got a lot of suspension to build up on this particular model. And here we've got 2 sprues. They're really long with the Deca wheels. You can see those Deca wheels. They look really nice, don't they? And they're that old type of Miniart build-up. You've got a whole heap, and it sort of gives it a tread. Looks like tread. Really nice. And you get 2 of those long sprues. They're really long. And then you get some more, a couple more over here, and these are the Continental ones. And they look good too. They've got sort of a different sort of tread, but they're not built up like the Deca ones. So it's got a different tread. You get 2 of those sprues. Looking pretty good, eh? And that's not the end of the wheels, so you get some more of these on sort of a tie-up sprue. So you get some of the rear plate there and interior plates. Add a little axe. There you got some ammunition racks. And just more of these Continental wheels. Another one of those, but different. But different. Oh yeah, you've got those kind of things that go around the interior. Nice bolt details. Oh, there's the bull bar, I think. Cool. They've given a bunch of the jerry can sprues that Miniart do, but they're really cool. They're cool jerry cans, nothing wrong with them. And you get a couple of those to build up all the jerry cans that it requires. And there's some photo-etch details put on them as well. We get a couple more parts here, with sprues that are just for building up the body, but we're also starting to get some of the details for the drilling. And here we've got some seating for it and all that kind of stuff. But then we've got the exhaust and some more parts for the actual body of the vehicle. You get two of these ones, and that's got a lot of parts to do with the actual drilling, and then you've got those big 2 centimeter rounds, big fat rounds. And then you've got the actual gun here, and that's what the one with the angled part there that goes on the side. And then you've got some ammunition storage as well, or feeding, ammunition feeding or whatnot. And this is what will be building up the main body of the actual drilling gun. And then you've got the final cannon there, some of the frontal armor you can put on. And you've got those, they're really nice and detailed, those things there where you shoot from. And then you've got some more ammunition shaped to be fed into it. So, you know, this, overall, it seems like a pretty cool kit, pretty fun. Should have a good time with it. And it wasn't that expensive. I think it was about $75. All right, my friends, see you again soon.